Well, coming up right now, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, appetizer to dessert, how one widow responded after learning about her late husband's cheating ways.
Also coming up, why emergency crews will be on standby when an unusual opera debuts in the U.S.
A little bit later on, Star Wars goes woke. Some fans are outraged.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English, and welcome to Daily Flash. We all
Yeah, look at that crew. Did you see that crew behind the
They
camera?
are ready, man.
Love that. James, our hype man, on standby.
James, glad to have you here as we roll our way closer and closer to the weekend. Oh, yeah, we also have Rat-a-tat-tat. Let's check in with Matt. How are you? What you got going on today?
Good, buddy. Hey, did you guys see they sent a rocket to like one of Jupiter's moons the other day?
Yes, wasn't that amazing?
It's amazing. They just sent it up there, to see if there's intelligent life or forms up there because they just have given up here. We're going to Mars. We're going to one of Jupiter's moons. They're just like, we're out of here. Forget it. Like, we're spending more money getting off this planet than we are on the planet.
Well, which you see what's happening, you kind of wonder, maybe that's probably a good idea,
is
right?
True.
I do know, like when Elon Musk a while back, he had said, we're going to be in Mars by 10 years. And it doesn't look like that will be to reality. But now you hear stuff like this, it might just be. People are coming down on him.
You see that incredible rocket launch they did in Texas where the rocket went up and then it came back down and they caught the booster with the arms?
Yeah, Matt was calling it chopsticks.
The chopsticks.
The chopsticks, yeah. Mechazilla?
Mechazilla. I'll be talking about that and doing it later.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
It was amazing. My wife was freaking out. She's like screaming in the apartment. I'm like, the neighbors are going to ask things, honey.
I think he's an inspiration. I really do. I think he's
like
incredible.
him or not,
yeah,
you're right. And it takes polarizing people sometimes to, and you're always going to get a critic. What I kind of appreciate about him is he don't care.
He doesn't care.
So,
but when you've got billions of dollars, that's a
that.
luxury. You can do things and not listen to people
That's
and
true.
not care. Much like Steve Jobs and other people who are pioneers, really.
100%.
And that's the risk you take. Speaking of things that people do that upset a lot of people, Roger Goodell, who's the NFL commissioner, recently said in an interview, don't be surprised if the Super Bowl ends up going overseas.
Ooh, really?
Smart. Yes, do it.
Oh, come on now.
No.
I was
sold out.
No, I was outraged.
I would
That is
be,
an American. I mean, you think about all the NFL cities. No, James,
Not anymore,
our
you're right.
producers.
Not anymore,
I'm
you're right.
sorry, but in my opinion, I think you look at all these NFL cities that get the opportunity to host a Super Bowl. It's a huge moneymaker for them.
And I think the only thing we could probably compare it to that they have is like FIFA soccer,
Yes,
which they
the
call
World Cup.
football.
Football.
Are you into that? Yeah. But I tried to watch it when I was living in San Diego one time because the whole television staff was like watching, and I go, I don't understand this game at all.
I lived over there and I went to one and I still don't understand it. It's great. It's fun. It's fun to be a part of the crowd, but I still am bored to death.
And here it is, NFL. Don't you think you've made enough money?
Thank you.
Right?
No. The Shield don't quit.
That's right.
That meaning that they're going to always go after money, no matter what. Which, you think, and the commodity is the players, and if they get to see some of that after they retire, because a lot of them, their bodies are destroyed
in a very short period of time.
You talk about people that don't care up until just recently.
They're talking about extending the season to, I think, 18 weeks. And if that's the case, then every NFL team will play one of their games overseas. They're saying Brazil was a little bit of a touch and go, not a huge fan favorite, but London has been a huge hit.
London's definitely getting a team.
Yeah, and Germany.
They've been testing the Jaguars over there for
I wonder what that
weeks.
does for jet lag and stuff for the game too.
Gosh, right?
That. Yeah, that's interesting. And then should they play it? That's got to screw them up. Like, where's the metric system? When you talk about yards, it's got to be screwed up over there. You think about that?
Meters and meters.
And then our final thought is it hot or what when Andrea talks sports? Am I right on that?
Wow.
She's the one bringing it up. I love that. All right, up in Canada, they have a great story that everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
A widow there has actually written a bombshell memoir about eating her late husband's ashes. Relax, I had to finish that sentence there, Mike. James. Jessica Waite, her husband Sean, died back in 2015 while he was on a work trip. He was down in Texas. Waite recounts in her new book how she opened up her husband's iPad and discovered his secret double life. He had affairs, porn, and escorts, okay? Well, she says that she was looking up the number to the Houston hospital where her husband's body was being kept, and she started discovering the infidelities. She claims that she struggled to come to terms with the reality of her husband cheating on her and kept it a secret, how he actually kept a secret apartment in Colorado. What'd she do? Well, what every normal person would do. And that, of course, is serving her revenge with the hot heaping spoonful of his ashes. Now, she admits that eating his ashes was a way to flush away the pain. She's also confessed to mixing his ashes in the garden with her dog's evacuation, doodle, feces. Poor guy, he didn't get to defend himself. Who knows? He could have let somebody borrow that iPad.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Well, that's true.
I mean, you don't know.
You don't know.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. And by the way, ladies, if you're shocked that on a man's iPad is porn,
You need to get a life.
start.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Every guy in here just laughed. Because
eat this part of my hand first or whatever whatever you're gonna do, because it's gonna happen.
It's a fact of life. Get over it. Who cares?
Okay.
what do you mix that with?
And was
ranch?
that hot to hear that too, by the way? Jackson, marry me now.
I know.
Look, check out our iPad while we're at it.
Whatever. Who cares?
Okay, so was this the right thing to do?
I'm going to say
therapeutic?
no.
Yeah.
I mean, the mixing it in the garden with the dog's poo. Okay, I'll give you that one. But eating the ashes.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
There's something.
There's something
not right up here. And what were you going to do to eat it? I guess
Maybe that's why he had escorts and was cheating on her, because she was that crazy.
That's a very
Hold
good
on.
point.
That is a dang good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good.
Yeah.
Think about that. And these memoirs, there's three sides of every story,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Hers, his, and the truth. So this says a lot more about her.
We've all dated crazy at one point. We're always like, I got to get out of this somehow.
Well,
So married
and also,
twice, yeah.
she has to sell books, right?
That's how, well, then why not, like in every book, put a little sprinkle of his ashes inside?
Gift
a little
with purchase.
baggie of them
You
for
get a
everybody.
little piece of Sean in every page.
A radical opera is drawing the attention of emergency crews as audience members are calling for medics during the show. Sancta Susanna tells the story of a nun's journey of self-discovery and features explicit scenes, real injuries, and nudity.
Hey, now.
One-act show lasts about 3 hours with no intermission. Maybe that's why people are passing out. So what's making the audience call out for help? Watching painful stunts, graphic violence, and nudity. Nearly 24 attendees requested medical attention from the stress of watching the show. However, the show's production team isn't too concerned. Organizers have insisted that the show will go on and plan to debut a version of it in the U.S.
Sounds like a night at Diddy's house.
No kidding.
Yeah, right.
And the ashes story,
Yeah,
too.
the ashes and this one.
Ooh, boy.
All right, Star Wars. There's a new character in Star Wars universe, and it's causing some outrage with the fans of the franchise. The first transgender stormtrooper named Sister appears in the new book, Star Wars, The Secret of the Clone Troopers. In the book, Captain Rex gives a description of Sister and refers to her brothers in the 7th Sky Corps, giving her the name Sister as a constant reminder that she does belong. Well, the character has not yet appeared on any TV shows or movies, and the move is to create a trans stormtrooper. Actually came from Disney and has sparked a lot of extreme divisive reaction as well. Here's what I always appreciate when they try to do this kind of stuff is when they don't make a big deal out of it.
Yes.
Because isn't that if you want something to be normal, why would you, it's like, look
Draw
how
attention.
different this person is. And it's like,
It's a
okay,
great
well
point.
now I have to accept
Yes.
it. To where if you were just like, okay, I get it, you got rainbow stripes on you or whatever.
Right.
And if they decide to do that, and this is nothing new, by the way.
Right.
And they do this with characters, it seems like it would be more accepting and instead of just being so big and
To
grandiose.
me, the great art is in subtlety.
There you go.
And when you do that with any kind of story, regardless of the storyline, I think it resonates much deeper and people have a different appreciation because then you interpret it any way you want.
Love
By
that.
you doing this, you're forcing this idea on me, and if I don't like it, then I'm stuck with it.
I think and to accompany that is that a character in real life or anybody is I like to know the person and I go, oh, okay. Well, that's all right. She's transgender. Okay, cool.
I have
all right, so moving forward, and I'm like, all right, I've already accepted. Instead of putting the label on, now I'm like, okay, well, how am I going to treat this person different? It's in
exactly.
I have the nerd synopsis of this.
Okay.
Most Star Wars fans don't know Sister exists as only transgender clone trooper. They'd be more shocked to learn that she served during the Clone Wars. Her commanding officers were High Jedi General Obi-Wan Kenobi, Marshal Commander Cody, and Padawan Commander Anakin Skywalker.
I have a question for you. To me, they look asexual. Like, who?
They're supposed to be their clones.
They have a cod piece on you.
They don't like. They're not male or female, are they? I mean,
I don't think we're supposed to know or even care.
Yeah, thank you.
It is Breast Cancer Awareness and Domestic Violence Month. We got somebody talking in about that all right here.
Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. In today's KSA Cares, we are talking to an organization that is 114 years old, and we are talking about their focus on awareness when it comes to breast cancer and domestic violence. Here to talk about it is the leader of the female auxiliary of the Prince Hall Shriners, the 50th Imperial Commandress, and author of You Deserve Life, Dr. Karen Wright Chisholm. Dr. Chisholm, thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So for those who do not know, what is a daughter?
Daughter is a woman that is a member of the Imperial Court who they may be the wife, the mother, the daughter, or the sister of a Prince Hall Shriner. We have a part in this organization as having that family bond, having those family ties. And we are a charitable, benevolent organization. We consist of about 10,000 of us across the United States.
So why is raising breast cancer awareness so important to your organization?
It's important to our organization because we focus on breast cancer awareness. We focus on these initiatives that impact women. And because of that, we want to make sure that that focus is there, that daughters, not only daughters, but women across this domain understand that they need to be checked. They need to check their family history to make sure if any of these things fall in their family, at least they're aware of it and have the education to know about it. They can do something to get help to try to curb it and cut out breast cancer.
Yeah, communication is so key, isn't it?
It very much. So if we don't know, we can't do anything about it. So
what is your group planning to do for those dealing with a breast cancer diagnosis?
What we do, we try to educate them. We have workshops, we have screenings, we do whatever we can to make sure that daughters know about what's out there, the resources that they can get help if they need it, and to make them aware of things that are out there that can help them.
We know early detection is crucial. Why is it so important to dispel myths and empower women through your education programs?
It's important because myths are changing so much as this world changes. Years ago, we used to be told you need to get your mammograms at age 55, and you need to make sure that you do that. But I'm finding out now that doesn't make a difference. Early detection, it does not matter what age you are right now. You need to make sure that you have that check. I had a niece that actually died early at 31 of breast cancer. And I'm like, where did that come from? Because we're waiting until 50, but 50 might not be the age to go and get a check. So we need to make sure that they understand that it's crucial that we check it as early as possible.
That is a terrific point, because we're seeing more and more research now pointing to younger people who are dealing with cancer diagnosis. That's a great message to send. Dr. Chisholm, the daughters are not stopping there, because you are also bringing awareness to something that falls under the radar, domestic violence. What are the daughters doing about this?
Pretty much the same thing. I am a 27-year, I like to say, survivor of domestic violence. I actually experienced it about 27 years ago. And I know how critically important it is that we tell our stories to make sure that we help others to heal. We have to share our stories. We have to tell about our experiences And we need to make sure that daughters know that domestic violence can happen to anyone, because you don't necessarily look like what you've been through. And if you look at me, you would not be able to tell that I was a victim, but now a survivor of domestic violence. I want to make sure that daughters know that there is help out there, that we have to understand that regardless of who you are, no one deserves to take your life away from you, because I've seen domestic violence turn into life situations where people have been killed as a result of it. And my story to them is that God made each of us. No one deserves to take that life away from you. So there is help out there, and we encourage it to make sure that they know that there are other daughters, other sisters, other women out there that you can come and talk to, and we can help you to get the resources and the help that you need to pull you away from those situations that are not good for your life.
Well, your power and strength comes through the screen. I'm sure in person, I think it's an important message from somebody that has that kind of awareness. What are some of the key warning signs that someone may be experiencing domestic abuse?
A lot of times, if we see people kind of shy away from being around other people, sometimes it is because they are intimidated at home. They're being excluded from their friends, from their families. They do not want to be around for long periods of time. If you try to reach out to them and they're not answering you, those are signs that you need to make sure that you check to make sure that, you know, they're not being abused at home. Certain questions that you ask them, if you try to get them out and they don't want to indulge in group communications or, you know, just going out. And if you see signs that there's suppression within them, a lot of times, you know, I'm trying to think back when I didn't want people to know what I was going through. I kind of kept to myself a lot. And sometimes, you know, not thinking that people would understand what I was going through, I shied away.
Thank you so much for sharing your story and your insight. For more information on the Daughters' plans to raise breast cancer and domestic violence awareness, head to their website, doipha.org. We'll have all this on our website as well.
Hey, welcome to Doing It This Week with me, Matt Doolittle. Well, today we are diving into, thank you. Well, today we are diving into the world of robots, specifically the ones that Elon Musk is about to unleash on this world. You know Elon Musk, right? The world's richest man, wearer of shirts that seem to shrink in the wash. Innovator and entrepreneur. Well, his SpaceX company just pulled off one of the most mind-blowing feats of the century by catching the massive super heavy booster with a machine called a Mechazilla and its chopsticks. And yes, it sounds like a gag gift you'd find at Spencer's for that buddy who keeps showing up to family events alone. Hey, Todd, I got you a Mechazilla to help with that little issue you got. And let's be real. Thank goodness the chopsticks aren't the ones from that hibachi restaurant where they have a rubber band piece between them and a piece of paper for the rest of us out there who don't know how to use them. You guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
Now, Elon is ready to unleash a whole new lineup of products. Well, some that might help us and some that might scare the living daylights out of us. He recently revealed the upcoming Robovan, horrible name, the Cybercab, horrible name, which just kind of looks like a DeLorean after a rough night, and the terrifying humanoid robot Optimus. Imagine owning your own personal R2-D2 or C-3PO, as he said, for just $20,000 to $30,000. That's a steal if you don't mind the voices in your head saying, "Kill it with fire," every night. But hey, for 20 grand, you can get one that does all the chores you don't want to do, like taking out the trash, watering the plants. Just don't let it babysit your kids, because that'll cost you another 20 grand in therapy later, I'm sure. Look, I get it. We've had tons of sci-fi innovations that are now part of our daily lives, thanks to shows like, Star Trek. We can thank the crew of the Enterprise for video chats and communicators. We're still waiting on a fully functioning holodeck, though we already know what certain people use VR for, and maybe we should gift them a Mechazilla with its clamping chopsticks for now. I think that's a better tool for them. But back to Elon and his robot empire. I can't shake the feeling that he's been binge watching iRobot on repeat since 2004, and recently the director said, I think you're still in my designs. Remember that movie is set in 2035? Not that far away, kids. Right. The plot centers around an AI system taking over robots to save us from ourselves by getting rid of quite a few of us in the process. And just a look at how far we've come in the last 2 years with AI integration. We even have AI deciding what we should order at McDonald's. If I want a double Big Mac clogger with a side of fries and a shake, I should be allowed to indulge myself and not handed a salad while being called a fatty and then sent on my way in a robo-van. Look, I see the benefit of all these advancements, but maybe we should slow down just a bit and think about how we let social media spiral out of control so quickly. We're doing the same with the robots and AI. But on the flip side, fighting a robot war means I don't have to do my laundry. Hey, count me in. Let's do it with some robots, people.
There you go. Good.
Maddie, thank you. Could you imagine robots replacing us on this show? Come on, not even the same. Time for some trending stories now. Convicted felon Anna Delvey doesn't believe she was given a fair chance on Dancing with the Stars. The ex-con opened up about the backlash she received after she landed a spot on the popular ballroom show. Delvey thinks ABC used her to drive up ratings and get more attention, you think? The 33-year-old was eliminated after performing a quick-step routine with her partner. When it came time for Delvey to leave, the show's co-host asked what she would take away from the experience. She simply replied, nothing, before laughing as she left the stage.
So she actually had to work for something in order to win, and it wasn't handed to her, and she didn't steal it, I guess.
Can you believe she felt like she was taken advantage of?
Can you imagine that?
Oh my goodness, that poor thing.
This is how much I care about what she feels. All right, residents in an English village are actually freaking out. This is weird. After a giant baby doll actually appeared in their town square with 27-foot tall, how about that toy, named Lily, features giant movable limbs and a mouth that opens and shuts like a plus-size Pinocchio.
Boy.
The doll is all part of a new campaign encouraging school children to talk about the importance of the environment. So there is some motivation behind it. Youngsters didn't seem that scared of the giant toy. Some adult residents are a little freaked out, though, and you can imagine why. Well, if it does something, I don't know, but I could see that being in somebody's nightmare.
How do you talk about the environment with that thing?
With the giant doll, all the assets it took to
put it together and haul it out there.
Right.
I'm sure they drove it out with gas trucks. I'm just thinking. Americans can't get enough of plastic surgery, but there's one that can result in complications 92% of the time. Eye color change surgery. Can you believe it? Which includes iris implants and laser pigment removal. Tops the list of the 10 most dangerous cosmetic surgeries. Recovery times range from 1 to 8 weeks, and the average cost is about $12,000. Researchers say patients are rolling the dice with their eyesight, especially for a procedure which is purely cosmetic. A laser is used to create a tunnel in the cornea for the color pigment. Experts say the risk involves inflammation, vision loss, blindness, and glaucoma.
Why would, I don't understand. And the doctors that do this, like, what are you doing?
Yes.
Like, why are you doing this? Because you want to play God, I guess, or something like that? It's really freaky.
Yeah.
Right?
It bothers me. Like, I get the nose, the boobs, whatever, but your eye color?
Leave them there. They're a lot of who you are, if you think about it. I love your blue eyes. Hey, we're going to be talking about a woman who decided to have her husband for dinner. Literally. It's weird. Stick around.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hey everybody, I am Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
And Andrea has checked into Facebook, right?
Yes, I have.
So she's saying that she is here, right?
And Daily Flash check-ins considered safe at Daily Flash.
Not from Mitch, but from safe. Right.
Just safe in general.
It's Panda Watch. The National Zoo up in Canada, Canada, Washington, D.C.
Yes.
For over a year, they had no pandas because China says, hey, you remember this?
Yes, they want their pandas back.
We want our pandas back.
Pandas back.
For over nearly a year, it's been 11 months since there's been no pandas in D.C. And now China says, you know what? We're going to give you a pair of 3-year-old pandas. Bao Li and Xing Bao, if I'm saying their names right, are coming from a research facility in China. So now Now, if you really want to go see a panda,
not another research facility in China.
That's exactly where I was leading it to. When you see the words research facility in China.
We went through this a few years ago. Not again. It's a dang dog.
It's a panda MX.
Thank you.
It's a Temu panda.
So, there you go. See, do you guys see that I brought this up?
Yes.
So, first off,
follow you.
Two of the happiest pandas in the world, like, hey, we're getting out of this place. We did it, but let's go to America. So
4 years of hell. I'm sorry, they can keep their pandas.
I don't want anything that sounds like panda because you said. So anyway, if you dare to go see them, they're going to be up in the National Zoo in Washington,
Will they
D.C.
be wearing face masks?
No, but nice tuxedos, at least. But it would be great if they had face masks.
One of those nuclear suits.
Nuclear suits.
Oh,
Good
my
idea.
goodness. A Canadian widow has written a bombshell memoir about eating her late husband's ashes. Jessica Waite's husband, Sean, died in 2015 while on a work trip in Texas. Waite recounts in her new book how she opened her husband's iPad and discovered his secret double life of affairs, porn, and escorts. She says she was looking up the number to the Houston hospital where her husband's body was being kept when she discovered his infidelity. She claims she struggled to come to terms with the reality of her husband cheating on her and keeping a secret apartment in Colorado. So she decided her revenge was best served with a hot heaping spoonful of ashes.
That's weird.
She admits to eating his ashes as a way to flush away the pain, she says. Jessica also confessed to mixing his ashes in the garden with her dog's poop.
At least mix it in a calzone or something.
Is that what he said? Did he say eat my ashes? Is that what he said?
Eat my ashes.
Did he have very clear? Maybe it was a typo.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying one letter off.
maybe he would have stayed faithful if
Yeah,
that's true.
We were talking about this, and I think this says more about her than it does about the guy. And we're not justifying whatsoever.
No, but the mental state of somebody who reacts in that sort of way would suggest maybe there was a lot more in the marriage that was not working. Yeah.
Really,
when you die, I'm going to eat your ashes. I'm sure that was yelled at him a couple times.
Trying to be as diplomatic as
You're
possible.
like, that's fine, I'm dead. I don't care what you do. There's a radical opera, and it's drawing the attention of emergency crews. Audience members are actually calling for medics during the show. It's called Sancta Susanna, which tells a story of a nun's journey of self-discovery and features explicit scenes, real injuries, and nudity, kind of like Rochelle, one woman's erotic journey from months to mints, if you're a Seinfeld fan. What's making the audience call out for help? Well, actually watching painful stunts, graphic violence, and nudity.
Why?
Thursday night for us. Nearly 24 attendees requested medical attention from the stretch for watching the 3-hour show. Show's production team, they're not very concerned. Organizers insisted that show will continue to go on, and they're actually going to plan to have a debut of it here in the United States as well. So we'll
could be worse. Could have been Joker 2.
Don't
be like that.
Matt with the burn.
that hurts.
Joker 2 burn.
Alrighty, stick around. We got more Flash coming up right around here. Of course, we got your trending news and tomorrow's topic.
That's right. Stay with us. We are back right after this.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. AARP sharing tips on how older adults can actually best use technology just for booking their travels. Check this out.
Planning your next adventure? AARP's new survey shows nearly 2/3 of older adults plan to travel in 2024, spending an average of over $6,500 on vacations. Tom Camber, Executive Director of Older Adults Technology Services at AARP, shares more.
Our survey found that nearly 3 in 4 older adults want to use technology to travel. They're comparing prices, they're setting up their plans for hotels and airlines, and they're doing it together with friends and family.
Build your itinerary using AI tools like ChatGPT or Google Gemini. They can suggest restaurants and even activities based on your interests.
Use Google or Apple Maps for navigation when traveling. They offer the best routes whether you're driving, walking, or using public transit. And download your airline's app to manage those bookings and receive flight updates. We've also created an amazing resource page online where you can find even more travel tips.
For more, visit aarp.org/traveltech50+.
Great information there. Hey, you thinking about buying an EV? Well, the new Ford Power Promise actually offers a complimentary home charger with installation. We got my buddy, tech journalist Jennifer Jolly. She's got more. Hey, Double J.
This is the 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E GT, an all-electric SUV. It has been so much easier to switch from gas to electric than I thought it would be. It gets nearly 300 miles on a full charge, goes 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds. It's whisper quiet, but you guys, the best part of all, 0 trips to the gas station. I just fuel it up at home now, which is, I guess, what just about nearly everyone who owns or leases one of these does these days. So gone are the days of range anxiety. That's just not an issue anymore. It is as simple as plugging in your phone overnight to fuel up at home. I set it to charge during off-peak hours, so a full tank costs around $7. My gas car, well, that costs about $80 to fill up each time. But get this, if you buy or lease any electric vehicle from Ford between now and January 1st, they throw in this Charge Station Pro top-of-the-line retail 80-amp charger, and they throw in standard installation. They call it the Ford Power Promise, since where and how to charge is still everyone's top concern, including mine. That was mine. But this was enough to get us up and off the fence about making this switch finally to all electric. And honestly, I cannot believe it took us so long. It's tough to nail down the exact savings of making this switch to all electric because the cost of gas and electricity vary so much between states. But on average, we save about $2,000 a year, or about $35 or so a week. The Mach-E here can get the equivalent of about 91 miles per gallon. Plus, I've just gotten so much of my life back and my time back, not going to gas stations, no oil changes. I just can't believe I didn't do this before, but that free charging station at home really did work to get us up and off the fence about it. Our power bill has gone up about $60 or so a month, depending on how much we drive. Really does work to set it to charge up during off-peak hours. The car just kind of does it by itself. Our insurance premiums went up a little bit too, about 4%. All in though, we're still saving a couple grand a year with this switch to electric. And then in addition to range anxiety worries that just really are not a thing anymore, another big myth is that EVs are worse for the environment than gas or diesel cars. But I've done a ton of research on this, and according to the latest data from the EPA and numerous bipartisan sources, that's just not factually correct. Power plant emissions, battery manufacturing, materials mining, you take everything into account here. How long the batteries last, recycling of materials. When all is said and done, all of it shows electricity winning out. You can go to Ford.com for more information about their promotion from now through the end of the year, or Techish.com to read more about my journey to electric. Back to you.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English, along with Andrea Jackson, Matt Doolittle. You know, nearly 1 in 5 residents in the United States actually receive some kind of Social Security payment. Here's what AARP had to say about the new 2025 cost of living adjustment.
The Social Security Cost of Living Adjustment, or COLA, has just been announced for 2025. Jen Jones, AARP's Vice President of Government Affairs, shares what this means for the 70 million Americans receiving Social Security.
The COLA is a vital component of Social Security, ensuring older Americans have an inflation-protected source of income in retirement. The 2.5% adjustment for 2025 will help offset rising prices, including food, gas, and living expenses.
The COLA adjustment for 2025 is the lowest since 2021.
We know that inflation hit retirees hard this past year. While the COLA increase may provide some relief, we know many will still struggle to pay bills. AARP continues to call on Congress to take bipartisan action to strengthen Social Security and secure a long-term solution that Americans can rely on.
Learn more at aarp.org/Social Security. That's aarp.org/Social Security.
All right, you probably might have a little bit of scratchy throat. Don't worry about it. Dr. Ken Redcross, he's got your back with some easy and natural remedies. In this latest Dr. Ken Redcross to the Rescue Health Minute.
Keeping your throat in tip-top shape is all about preventative measures. Use a humidifier at home to combat dry air. Steer clear of smoky environments that can aggravate your throat. And don't forget the classic saltwater gargle, which can work wonders to soothe irritation. And a bonus is that it can even help reduce harmful bacteria in your mouth. Sip on soothing herbal teas or hot lemon water to warm up and find instant relief. You can add a dash of honey for a sweet touch. Remember to hydrate throughout the day to keep your throat feeling good. When the first hint of a tickle appears in your throat, don't wait. Use Throat Calm Melt-Away tablets by Boron to help relieve occasional minor sore throat pain, hoarseness, or vocal fatigue. Throat Calm tablets conveniently melt in the mouth, causing no additional pain to swallow, and are non-drowsy, non-habit forming, and unflavored with no aftertaste. If your sore throat gets worse or lasts for several days, then be sure to see a doctor for your symptoms. I'm Ken Red Cross with your Dr. Red Cross to the rescue, Health Minute.
Good Housekeeping's registered dietitian and personal trainer Stephanie Sassos is here to keep your health top of mind as meals get harder and cold and flu season arrives. Hi, Stephanie.
Thanks for having me. Fall is a great time of year to settle back into our routines and really put in place some amazing healthy habits. And I think it's so important to prioritize family meals this season. So a great way to do that is starting the day with a quick and nourishing family breakfast. I love to make these wonderful little egg muffins with feta and tomato, and I use Eggland's Best eggs because compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best eggs have 6 times the vitamin D, 10 times the vitamin E, 25% less saturated fat. Another great top tip that I have is shopping for seasonal produce, like Cosmic Crisp apples. They're classically bred, non-GMO, and they have this amazing sweet tart flavor. And when it comes to really getting the kids involved with meal prep and mealtime, you can get them to help season the food, wash some vegetables in the sink, and one thing you're always going to find in my pantry are Dash salt-free seasoning blends. Now, I love that they have dozens of varieties to choose from, so you're never going to get bored. And the best thing about them is they're going to amp up the flavor without sacrificing taste. Now, while you are prepping that dinner, you need something to snack on, right? For the kids and the adults. If you're looking for something crunchy and sweet, look no further than Nature Fresh Farms Sweet Snaps. So these are these glorious, gorgeous peppers. They're greenhouse grown, and they're going to be a great source of vitamin C, also a good source of fiber, and they're super hydrating. And now, a question I get asked all the time is what nutrients should we be prioritizing in our diets? And 95% of Americans don't meet the fiber recommendations. A really easy way to do that is just to incorporate more veggies into your diet. And that does not have to be boring. Green Giant has a new line of restaurant-style veggie side dishes that are going to make you feel like you're dining out. And another fiber-packed choice is GH Seal Star Bush's Beans Zero Sugar Added. These baked beans are going to give you that iconic Bush's Baked Beans flavor that you know and love without the added sugar. Now, for more amazing ways to focus on your health in this season, you can visit goodhousekeeping.com and catch the latest issue of Good Housekeeping on newsstands now.
Adjusting to the end of the student loan payment pause has been a challenge for many. Here's new information for borrowers looking to manage their student debt.
It's been a year since many borrowers resumed their student loan payments and are having to make adjustments to their finances. Dr. Billy Hensley, president and CEO of NEFI, the National Endowment for Financial Education, has more.
The end of the repayment pause has caused financial strain for some, with 27% saying it has negatively impacted their lives. A NEFI survey finds that 74% of those with active student loan balances have had to make adjustments to manage payments. Nearly 1/3 have had to cut more than $500 in their monthly budgets. And 31% of those with outstanding loans are less likely to pursue additional education because of the end of the repayment pause.
Student loans are expected to be a key issue this political season.
A majority of borrowers want this to be a topic of focus, regardless of political affiliation. 64% feel the impact of student loans on finances must be a major platform consideration from presidential candidates this fall.
To learn more, visit nefe.org.
Man, we have so much more trending news and entertainment heading your way. But first, we got to check in with our friends at The Daily Buzz right here on Daily Flash.
While frontline workers battle the LA wildfires, veteran-led nonprofit Team Rubicon is picking up tasks to alleviate their burden.
Things like points of distribution for water or for ice in areas where the electricity was turned off. Moving debris when able, as in these communities that might not have been impacted by fires, but there's an absence because they're firefighters on the front line. We know that burn scar areas are prone to mudslides, so the intervention or the mitigation is putting sandbags in place, and that's something that we're already having discussions about.
And as much as civilians want to help, good intentions can backfire.
Things that, seem like a really great act of compassion, like donating, clothes, can become a problem because now somebody has to sort through them. Somebody has to figure out who needs it and get them there. And real alternatives are, donating cash, because then you can match up the need with the material very quickly.
Visit teamrubiconusa.org to donate or volunteer.
Well, hey guys, if you get a chance, head over to our YouTube page. I have my own little exclusive little show called Preview Review, where we bring you the finest in entertainment, theme parks, and all things news right up there right now. I've got my review of the Saturday Night movie that was done by Jason Reitman about all of the 90 minutes leading up to Saturday Night Live. I really loved it, but there's some exclusives in there and some stuff about some people that you may not like. Speaking of movies, we are checking out Streaming with the Weekend coming up next right here on the Daily Flash, where we got today's trends, tomorrow's talk.
Hey, welcome back. Before we head into the weekend, we always like to give you our picks for Stream for the Weekend. This is where we tell you about something you got to check out on your streaming services. We're going to start off with AJ. What you got?
Okay, so my pick, you turned me onto this one, is a true crime series called The Real Murders on Elm Street.
He called for his wife, no answer. Called for his children, no answer. So he had this feeling of dread inside him.
I was screaming, my dad's dead. Someone's killed him.
Be aware of the danger.
Investigation Discovery explores 6 high-profile murders that happened on different Elm Streets all across the U.S., right?
Don't live on an Elm Street.
I don't know if you knew, and I made mention about the Menendez brothers. They lived on Elm Avenue.
Yeah, very odd.
Really wild.
It's creepy.
Maddie, don't do that. Well, my pick this week is a new movie based on a true story from The Dating Game, starring and directed by Anna Kendrick, Woman of the Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Woman of the Hour. Let the games begin.
So this is going to be on Netflix. This is Anna's directorial debut. It's based on a real-life serial killer, Rodney Alcala, who appeared on The Dating Game in the midst of his murder spree. And if you really go look at the true story on it, the guy got away with a lot, and he only got convicted for a little. He's still in jail.
Okay, so he was actively doing it while on
there later.
No, it was while it was going on.
Was he the Night Stalker guy?
I don't think so.
No, different guy.
I think so, but I think he was on a game show, though. Yeah. Interesting. All right, looking for a good rom-com series to binge? I found one. Keep in mind, nobody wants this.
And I literally don't know you, but this is one of the best parties I've ever been to. So, and you guys just embrace how awkward these years are, okay? Because you don't want to peak at 13. No, you want to peak at our age. 23.
All right, nobody wants this. It's a romantic comedy. It stars Kristen Bell, Adam Brody. It's centered on the unlikely relationship between an outspoken agnostic woman and an unconventional rabbi. Very funny.
Oh, so
very
good.
Fun. You can binge this all week.
Terrific.
That does it for the show, y'all.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Be good, everybody.
See you Monday. Bye-bye, y'all.